Welcome back. We're getting ready to get the third quarter underway here at Aces Stadium. And again, if you're just joining us, our halftime score, it's the Aces leading the Northridge Vikings here on homecoming night. 14-0 the halftime score. And the Aces set to receive the ball to get the second half underway. Northridge getting their foot into it. Ball fielded by Fuller. Fuller breaks through to the 40-yard line. He shakes a tackle. He's still on his feet. A nice block. I don't see a flag being thrown anywhere on the field. Fuller scurries into the end zone. Touchdown Aces. And I'm going to check again. I don't see any of that yellow laundry laying out on the field. They put the points on the board, 20-0. Aces, so Fuller, Dylan Fuller, takes the kick and returns it just about 80 yards into the end zone. Put the Aces up by 3 scores. Aces setting up to go for 2. Krall is going to keep it himself. Heads towards the end zone. And we're waiting for the official word. And it's good. 2-point conversion succeeds. And just like that, Aces managed to put one in the end zone and go up 22-0. And they've only burned 14 seconds off the second half clock. So just like that, the Aces... Just like that, the Aces up by 3 scores. What a way to start the second half and the third quarter. And well, that'll give Northridge something to think about, too. They need to kick the ball off to the Aces again. So now we'll kick it off, but the other way. And Salvador Avallos is going to get ready to see. We'll see if he's going to get another knuckleball here. The onside kick. That's the first, I believe that's the first kickoff return for a score of the season for the Aces. That ball scooped up on the 35-yard line and wisely downed by Nick Hatton, number 10, at the 36, where Northridge will take over 1st and 10. Again, as we mentioned in the first half, but in case you are joining us late, Northridge, down around the Columbus area, it's about a 3-hour drive that they had to make to get here tonight. And the Aces Athletic Department wanted me to make sure to thank them for taking the trip. Ball carried out to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of a couple. That'll make it second and about, well, they're going to give him 2, 2nd and 8. Northridge Vikings quarterback number 2, Daniel Hatfield, working under center. Handoff. That's to Gary, number 3. And Gary gets out to about the 41-yard line. That'll be a couple more. Make it 3rd and 6. Northridge was keeping the ball on the ground a lot in that first half, and we had a pretty quickly moving first half because with the running game, and they controlled the ball for a significant part of the first quarter too, so they made the clock was really rolling a few times there. Again, a handoff. to Gary. Gary first down yardage and a little bit more as he'll get rolled down at about the 47-yard line of the Aces. So Gary, a nice run across midfield into Hicksville territory, and he'll move the chains. It'll be first down Northridge. They're down 22, 10:28 to go here in quarter number 3. They're looking to get back in this game. Again, Hatfield under center. He was working out of the shotgun a lot in that first half. And again, a handoff to Gary. And Gary is going to pick up a few. Looks like he's going to get about 4 yards. Make it 2nd and 6. On a crisp October night, 9th day of October. Again, a handoff to Gary. This time they catch him. He might have got about a yard. They'll move it forward to about the 42-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 5. Hand off to Gary, nothing doing. Gary gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. So 4th and 5 coming up for the Vikings. Changing a few personnel. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 5. Rolling back. Hatfield looking to pass. Can't find anybody open. He's in trouble. He's going to be dropped down at about the 46-yard line. And that means the Aces will take over on downs. They stop the Vikings on 4th down. And it'll be Hicksville's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Quick huddle on the sideline. And again, we want to congratulate the homecoming king and queen for 2015. The homecoming king, quarterback Garrett Krall, and the queen, senior Cheyenne Cunningham. Terrific young lady. Krall takes a snap, drops back. Looking downfield, nobody open. Garrett's going to hang on to it himself. He evades one tackle, reverses his field. This time he makes good forward progress across midfield. Still on his feet, heading to the 40-yard line. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. 37-yard line of the Vikings. Garrett Krall, what a great scramble. Dropped back, rolled out to pass. Nobody open. Took off running, ran into some problems, spun around, came back out, reversed his field. Nice gain for 1st down yardage. Krall dropping back to throw again. Ball in the air. It'll be short hopped in the direction of Lysit. Incomplete. That'll stop the clock. 8:04 to go here in quarter number 3. And again, the Aces leading 22-0. Second and 10 for Hicksville. Krall again taking off with it right up the middle. 1st down yardage. Well, maybe very close. Krall looks like he got 9.5 out of the 10 they needed. That'll make it 3rd and 1. Krall Quick dump pass over the middle to Fuller. Fuller takes off. He's headed towards the end zone. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Aces. What a nice read. They had the blitz on, and Crawl, a little ice water in his veins. He stared down the 3 rushing defenders coming right at him. Little dump pass over the middle to Dylan Fuller, and Fuller takes it into the end zone. Puts the Aces up now 28-0. And they're going to go for 2 again. That one time they attempted in the first half to kick the extra point was kind of an ugly attempt. So they're going to go for 2. Crawl's going to hold on to it himself again, and he waltzes into the end zone, upright and untouched. 2-point conversion successful, and the Aces go up 30-0. And that's going to institute the continuous clock, I do believe. 7:27 to go here. So the 30-point lead in the second half means that the Northridge Vikings might be dealing with a continuous clock here. Aces will be kicking it off to him. Avios going to set up for the kick. Salvador tees it up. So we'll say the continuous clock, if they do institute it, and they do, as soon as they get the ball teed up, they blow the whistle, and that clock starts right away instead of waiting for the kick to be made. But as much as this game has been on the ground, I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference in the running time. Oh, the ball is dropped, scooped back up. Gary made the grab, and he gets out to about the 37-38 yard line. So they'll stop the clock long enough to position the down marker. 37-yard line of the Vikings, where they will have it 1st and 10. They get everything set, and they start the clock. So again, the Vikings, in order to get back to the regular timekeeping, need to score some points here. Northridge, Hatfield, can't find anybody to throw to, tucks it under, barrels forward, maybe picks up a yard. They're going to mark him down for no gain, so 2nd and 10. Hatfield dropping back, ball batted away. Fuller, what a defensive play. Gets his hand up and bats that ball to the ground. 3rd and 10. Northridge with Hatfield backing into the shotgun again. Rolling out, and he's going to get, he tripped and went down, and the Aces pounce. And that'll be a big loss, and that's going to bring up 4th down and a bunch. Looks like 4th and about 19. And they bring out number 41, Hunter Corbin, to do the punting. Standing at his own 15-yard line. There's a snap. Ball is up. It's a high end over end. And Tunis signaled for the fair catch. It bounced off his hands, and then it falls to the turf where it's jumped on by the Northridge Vikings. And they get the ball back. So just like that, the Aces back on defense. And Tunis, usually with good hands, muffs the catch. And that'll give Northridge another crack at it with 4:35 and the clock rolling. First and 10 from the Aces 43-yard line. Hatfield working out of the shotgun. Hangs on to it. Hatfield gets down to about the 40-yard line. They'll mark it just inside. Pickup of about 3. Make that 2nd and 7. Hatfield, quick throw, intercepted. Off to the races. I don't think anybody's going to get him. Into the end zone. I think it was Trevor Kryling, number 81, with the interception and the run back. Kryling goes about 60 yards into the end zone. Trevor Kryling with a defensive touchdown on the INT, a pick 6. Put it on his stat sheet. 36-0 now, and the Aces will attempt another extra point conversion. And they're going to go with Logan Neihart. And we'll give Logan a crack at it from this end of the field. He missed his first attempt in the first half. Snap, down, Neihart puts the ball up. That one looks pretty good. And it is good. So with a successful extra point, it's 37-0. $3:39 to go. You have to put the point on the scoreboard. But it's 37-0 Aces with 3:39 to go in the third quarter. So Hicksville getting ready to kick it off again. There's Kryling. What a night for him. Homecoming pick 6. Kryling just a sophomore, or excuse me, just a junior as well, so he'll be with the Aces next year. Avios, who's a member of the homecoming court. He's the junior attendant, I do believe. Or escort, I should say. Low liner, and that's going to go out of bounds. It does. So put the ball at the 35-yard line with it being kicked out of bounds. And fire up the clock again. 37 points means a continuous clock, and we're down to nearly 3 minutes. And we'll be at about the 3-minute mark when they snap the ball. The Vikings. Hatfield working out of the shotgun. Dumps it off quickly, and it's almost picked off again. Zach Whitty almost got himself 6 points. Had his hands on it, but takes it down to the turf. It'll be 2nd and 10. Daniel Hatfield takes the snap. He's going to hang on to it himself. Hatfield powering forward out to the 38-yard line. Gain of about 3. That'll be 3rd and 7. Hatfield takes the snap, looking to pass, puts the ball in the air, and it's picked off again. That's Tunis, and it looks like Tunis is going to have himself 6. He does. Peyton Tunis reading the route, stepping in front of the ball, pick 6. Second time tonight. That's 2 defensive touchdowns now for the Aces in this second half, but we got a flag on the field. Okay, there are multiple flags. I see one on the far sideline. And a referee conference, so we'll see what they're going to do. It looks like the way that the position of the flag would have been after the change of possession. Aces coming over to huddle up with Coach Smith. And the referee's still in consultation. I think that the Aces might hang on to the ball, but I don't know if they're going to get the points. And now, referees spreading out and going over to talk to the coach of the Northridge Vikings. I'm not sure if they're going to be explaining options to him. Just what the situation is. That they're going to pick up, I see at least two flags that were thrown. One back at about the 35-yard line, and there's one on the far side of the field at about the 8. So the Aces coming back out onto the field, and they're going to place the ball at about the 4-yard line. So it looks like they were offsetting fouls. And that one's no good. So the Aces do get the points. So it's 43-0. And it looks like, well, we'll see if they're going to move them back for the kickoff, because they were indicating a lot of personal fouls there. All right, so there were 2 personal fouls committed by the Aces, one of which was declined and one which was accepted. So the one that was accepted is probably going to be a 15-yarder, and indeed it is. So they'll march and back, and they will kick this ball from the 25-yard line. They're wanting a new ball. So the ball boy. There we go. So they'll enforce the 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. So with 1:15 to go in quarter number 3, Aces on the second pick 6, second touchdown off of an interception here in the third quarter, are up 43-0. Getting ready to kick it off to the Vikings once again. And Avios puts his foot into it this time. It comes down. It's scooped up at the 30-yard line. Gary takes it across the 50 and is brought down at the Aces, looks like the 48-yard line. So Logan Gary, the junior running back, returns the ball about 22 yards. Gets taken down at the Aces 48-yard line. Under a minute to go in quarter number 3. That's where the Vikings will set up this offensive drive. We'll see if they can get a play or two off here before time expires in the third quarter. Hatfield hands it off to Gary. Gary goes nowhere. He might have got a half a yard. And the Aces are saying that he lost the ball, and they recovered. And the officials say no. So, 2nd and 10 for Northridge. And we'll see if they get a play off here before time expires in quarter number 3. They're going to wait, and the time ticks away. And that's the end of the third quarter, moving very fast with the continuous clock. And we'll get ready for the last 12 minutes, and that's going to go by pretty quick, too, because Northridge would have to score 14 points to be able to get the clock back operating as in its usual way. So as we've got some time here between quarters, once again, I want to say a big thank you to our HIX-TV football broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships here in Hicksville, Ohio. If you're in the market for a vehicle, whether it's brand spanking new or pre-owned, be it car, truck, van, SUV, stop by and check out the great selection that they have at the new Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick dealership and at Jim Schmidt Ford or at the Jim Schmidt truck lot. If you don't see what it is you're looking for, let the fine folks at Jim Schmidt know what that is, and they will do their level best to find you exactly the vehicle that you are looking for. And also, great service departments at both dealerships. And you can find out everything. You can browse the lots of both dealerships online. Yep, from the comfort of your living room at jimschmidtauto.com. They make all of our Hicksville Aces sports broadcasts possible here on Hicksville Community Television. We're so proud to have them as our underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville. Hatfield rolling out and dropped for a loss back at about the 45-yard line. That's going to be a loss of about 6 or 7 yards. They're going to mark him down at the 46. That'll be 3rd and 17 for the Vikings. For them, the long bus ride has turned into a long night here on the gridiron. Still working to get back into this game, avoid the shutout. Hatfield dropping back. He's in trouble again, and he's going to get dropped again for another loss. He's sacked second time in a row. This time all the way back to the 35-yard line, and I'm sure that's going to bring out the punting unit. It'll be 4th and about a quarter of a mile. .22, 4th and 24. The ball on the 35-yard line. There's a snap. It's a high snap, and it's blown dead. And it's a dead ball foul against the Aces. So that'll move it forward 5 as they jumped across. So that makes it a little more manageable at 4th and 20. Another high snap, but he gets a hold of it, gets his foot into it. High ball coming down and taking a nice Northridge Vikings roll. They'll down it at about the 27-yard line of the Aces. So a nice punt. Now the Aces will get ready to go back on offense. And actually, it's the first time in a while that the offense has been on the field. Even though they've scored a couple of touchdowns, that was on interceptions. So really, the defense has done the scoring here in the second half. As the 3 scores the Aces racked up in quarter number 3 was the result of 2 interceptions and a run back. So the special teams and the defense chalking up 3 touchdowns in quarter number 3. And the Aces are going to take a timeout here. I'm not sure what they are discussing, but they are having an intense discussion in the huddle, and they were running out of time. So rather than take the delay of game penalty, they burn the first of their 3 timeouts for the second half. And that's it's one of the few ways you can stop the clock with the continuous clock in effect. 9:16 to go. in the football game. New quarterback in for the Aces with the comfortable lead in the fourth quarter. Handoff and nothing doing. New quarterback is number 7, Jake Greer. And the handoff was to number 8, Marcus Dreyer. Greer, a sophomore, and Dreyer, a freshman. So again, a lot of the second teamers coming in here late in the game with the 43-point lead to get some varsity playing time and experience. Greer, again the handoff, powering forward to about the 25-yard line. Dreyer. And that'll bring up third down and about 12. Greer, high snap. Going to hang on to it himself. Jake might have made it out to about the 26-yard line. Forward progress. And that'll make it 4th and 11. And here comes Logan Neihart and a few of the more experienced players to handle the punt here. Neihart, nice kick over the heads of the backmen, and it's going to roll down and go out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. Well, 23 is where they're going to mark it out of bounds. So nice punt from Logan Neihart. And that leaves a lot of space, a lot of real estate for the Vikings to traverse. 7:11 left in the game. And again, as soon as they get this ball down, they're going to be starting the clock here momentarily. They blow the whistle, and the clock starts up again. Hatfield with Gary by his side, but Hatfield, quick hitter, caught by number 10. He manages to get across the 30-yard line. So Nick Hatton out to about the 31-yard line. It'll be second and about 3. Hatfield again trying to do the quick pass, nothing doing. He takes off. He's got first down yardage out to about the 38-yard line, or make that the 37-yard line. So they'll move the chains. So 1st and 10 from the 37 as we are halfway through the fourth quarter. 6 minutes left in the ball game. Hatfield hands it off. Carry out to about the 41-yard line. And that's Gary. That'll make it 2nd and 6 to pick up 4 yards. Hatfield again, handoff to Gary. And Gary again, nice carry. Looks like he's going to be about a half a yard shy of moving the sticks. Make it third and less than a yard. So the Vikings out near midfield. Hatfield hands it off. Nice run. That was Alex Chalfant. And Chalfant gets inside the Aces 40-yard line down to about the 38. That'll be first down yardage. Hatfield's going to hand it off to him again. And this time he'll take it down to about the 35-yard line. Be a gain of about 4. Make it 2nd and 6. So Chalfant, a couple of carries here late in the game. He'll get a third one. And he manages to get some positive yardage again as he gets down near the 20-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Vikings. All at the 22-yard line. First and 10. 3:23 and the clock continues to roll. Chalfant again with a carry. Down near the 15. Moves the ball down to the 15-yard line where it'll be 2nd and about 3. As the Vikings looking to at least avoid the shutout. And another nice carry, a little bit closer. And that'll be first and goal. So Chalfant been doing the job here late in the fourth quarter as he takes the ball down to the 3-yard line where it'll be first and goal for the Vikings. We'll see if they can finally get some points on the scoreboard here tonight. Chalfant going to get the carry again. Nope. And they'll stop him short. That'll make it 2nd and goal. Couple of fresh players coming in off the sideline for the Aces. So no gain makes it 2nd and goal, still from the 3-yard line. Hatfield dropping back, loses the football, and the Aces recover. Number 67, Colin Giddings, falls on the football. The snap to Hatfield, and he was rolling out looking to throw, and it just slipped out of his hands and falls to the turf. And the Aces dive on it again. Colin Giddings with the fumble recovery. Giddings is a senior. Yep. A defensive, offensive, and defensive lineman. We don't call his name very often. He's one of those guys that's in there in the trenches, but we get to mention his name tonight as he recovers a fumble and puts Jake Greer back out there at quarterback for the Aces. Greer, high snap. Jake's going to hand on to the ball himself. He shakes one tackle and carries the ball forward across the 15-yard line. So Greer, a good carry from scrimmage to about the 16. As we are under a minute to go in the contest. So Greer with 2nd and 4. They can afford to just let things, they're going to let the play clock run down here. Quick handoff. That's Marcus Dreher. Got the carry. Dreher gets back to about the line of scrimmage, the 16-yard line. And that shall be the game because unless they call a timeout, there's less time on the game clock than there is on the play clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the ball game, and the Aces are victorious on homecoming night as they defeat the visiting Northridge Vikings. Final score, well, the Aces pitched the shutout tonight as they win 43-0. With the win, the Aces increase their overall record now in Week 7 to 5-2. The only losses at the hands of the Rams and the Archbold Blue Streaks. Obviously a non-conference game, so it doesn't affect their standing in the Green Meadows Conference. But it's a win, and the Aces will take it. And the homecoming celebration just got a little brighter. And it'll be a lot more spirited, I'm sure, at the big dance on Saturday night. Well, as we wrap things up here, we'll let you know that next week the Aces will be on the road. They'll be heading down to Wayne Trace to take on the Raiders. And we will not have that game for you here on HIX-TV. Unfortunately, the Wayne Trace Raiders do not have space for us in the press box facilities, so they never have room for us down at Wayne Trace. They've got a small press box, and they don't have room for us. So we will not be covering the Wayne Trace game, but we will be back here at the Aces Field in 2 weeks on October the 23rd. For a matchup with the Ayersville Pilots. So the Aces, a couple of challenging games facing them over the next 2 weeks. Raiders next week on Friday, and the Pilots in 2 weeks before they wrap up the season on the road on October 30th. Yep, Devil's Night, they'll be out at Holgate High School, and we'll hopefully have that game for you as well. So once again, we wanted to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Thank them once again so very much for their continued support of our Aces athletic broadcast here on HIX-TV. We'll say a congratulations once again to all of the members of the 2015 homecoming court, including Queen Cheyenne Cunningham and King Garrett Krall. And, of course, again, tell you to keep your eye on the channel here on HIX-TV and the program guide on the Hicksville Village website. So we will have we've got some interviews and the coverage of the homecoming parade and everything for you on HIX-TV as well. We hope everybody has a very safe and enjoyable homecoming weekend here in Hicksville. And with that, for Amy Murphy and Kate Murphy helping out on the camera tonight, I'm Bill Murphy, wishing you, I'll say it one more time, final score. Aces win homecoming Friday night. They defeat the Northridge Vikings 43-0. I'm Bill Murphy for Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.